Thanks, Jeanette. Are you looking for a new career? Not you, Jeanette, but just in general out there. Tom O'Neill's here with ideas on how to get yourself out of the house and into a job. Tom, just refresh our memory on how much experience and what qualifies you to give us advice on careers.
Yeah, well, sure. I've got over 20 years' experience in human resource management and recruitment. Managing director of cv.co.nz. We do careers and careers advice for people in more than 50 countries around the world now, which is pretty amazing. And I'm also author of a book called Selling Yourself to Employers, which has now been released in New Zealand, Australia and the UK.
Well, I'm happy to tell you you've got the job.
Thank you very much.
OK, well, the first question, we've got lots of people that want some questions answered. Now, for me personally, the European economic crisis and the global economic crisis, how is that going to affect the workplace here in New Zealand over the coming year?
It is interesting. I think in New Zealand, to some degree, we're closeted from a lot of the major things. I mean, obviously, if Greece implodes or things like that, I mean, there's going to be massive ramifications for everybody. But I think one of the blessings of being here in the bottom of the world, to some degree, is we are protected. As I say that, there is some major things happening internationally, which is affecting New Zealand. Recent article in the Herald talked about the job market hitting about 70% of its potential than probably what it did last year. And earlier today, seek.co.nz, the job board, said that they've got 6% more people on their website than ever before. So you've got...
Is that a good thing?
Well... Good thing for employers, but not so good if you're looking, because of course
how
now...
can you make yourself stand out then if there are that many people looking for a job? What's the best way to make an impact?
End of the day, you're a product, and Christian Bonner hates saying like that, but you are a product. You're a car or a glass of water. What makes you better than all the other people out there? And let's say you're an administrator. People just put in their CV, administrator, I do these 6 things. That's a list. It's not selling you. Your CV needs to be a brochure, and in that you talk about where you may have been involved in setting up systems. You may have been awarded further responsibility for looking after some of the HR function. You may have been involved in coaching and training some other people in your organisation. So not just what you do, but pulling out those things that make you look that little bit better.
Because there's a fine line. I was always told, on the first page, bullet points so that the employer can just go yes or no or read further. But you're actually saying you need to expand on your experience, really.
Absolutely. It's that balance between not being a gigantic document that bores people to death, yet on the other hand, not having enough information to make people interested in you. And one thing that's really pivotal in the whole CV side, and also for interviews, is tailoring your approach to the job. So let's say for an office administrator, for a plastics company, let's say, they're going to say, and we want someone with really strong IT skills, great communication skills, solid experience in these sort of things. What's important is to mirror those things in your summary.
Right, so look at the job that's advertised and make you appeal to that employer for that specific. Be specific.
Absolutely.
Don't just say, I don't know anything about plastics.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so what sort of growth sectors would you predict? If I was going to retrain, for example, where do you predict job growth in the country over the coming year?
Well, there's factors that say things like finance. I mean, the finance companies in New Zealand have had a real... They had a real kicking over the last few years, but indicators are saying a lot of finance companies are now starting to get their second wind, if you will. Accounting and sort of accounts type roles, they're also very strong, or starting to become strong this year. IT, of course. Poor IT has its runs and stops, but IT certainly for this year is looking really good. And also anything in the high technology sector that's really, pretty much any job in the high technology sector is looking positive.
I'm thinking now, what about the rebuilding of Christchurch as well? So that's, moving away from that technology side of things. Trades.
Yeah. Absolutely. Christchurch, obviously incredible sadness and disaster, but if you're in the building industry, moving to Christchurch wouldn't actually be a bad move, because there's now a lot of obviously rebuilding underway, a lot of construction. I mean, we do a lot of career support for builders who, let's say, have been self-employed and now wanting to go into the insurance side in Christchurch, or wanting to, project manage, those sort of things. And let's say you're an administrator, Building companies need administrators, building companies need accountants, building companies need all these sort of things.
So can you just reiterate your general 5 key points that you think you need to get a handle on, you need to perfect in order to be very employable, unresistible to employers?
Unresistible. Well, firstly is networking, making sure that that your networks are very, very strong. I mean, a lot of people don't really worry about that, but that phone call you make today to a friend or a colleague could turn into a job. Okay. Secondly, be very positive, have a very strong positive approach to it all. The job hunt is really painful.
Yes.
I'm not going to make,
all right.
pretend it's not.
Make it easy on yourself by following some of your advice.
Yep,
and
absolutely.
that's the book there as well. So we'll be giving one of those away. Tom, thank you very much indeed. I think I invented a word during that, unresistible. I think it should have been irresistible. For more help with your job hunt, check out our website. Coming up, Nelson's back and he's looking forward to the biggest showbiz night of the year. But first, here's our